the capacity of the Taliban that John was referring to disrupt life in Afghanistan, has that been, to what extent has that been diminished? I mean, don't forget, just last year, the Americans were trying to deal with them. They were trying to talk to them. So they haven't disappeared. They haven't vamoosed. There are still incidents.
I think it would be fair to say that the Taliban do not have the capacity as of now to mount sort of regular army-to-army attacks, conventional attacks. They do have the capacity to disrupt life, as you put it, very effectively through insurgencies. They have the capacity because they also they have support in different institutions in Afghanistan. There are some areas where they are more influential than the rest. I think, it's a personal view, but I think the Pakistanis will go for broke. They might have this two-track thing of on the one hand, a veneer that they are trying to see that there is reconciliation and talks, etc., knowing full well that the hardcore of the Taliban, which is still very much in charge of the Taliban, is not capable of reconciliation. It wants it all. That's my point. These gentlemen belong to the 7th century. Despite everything, they do not know how to accommodate.
7th century was the century of the Shankaracharya and of the Prophet.
Yes.
Take your pick. Right.
Well, for them it will be the Prophet,
right.
Which is not a bad thing in itself.
Right.
But it is, I think, their kind of worldview is so circumscribed.
Fair enough. But still, you can't wish them away.
Yeah.
It is a thing that the Pakistanis are paying a price for them. I mean, Pakistan is paying a price for having helped build up.
Saeed, when has Pakistan followed a rational policy? Tell me. Was it for the last 60 years, the entire neighborhood policy, both to the east and the west, has it been based on any kind of reason?
But their strategic depth philosophy seems to have been given up. Now they are actually looking at that flank with some anxiety. True or false?
I don't know. I see they are talking to Pakistani diplomats. There seems to be a change in their mindset.
Yes.
They realize that mistakes were made.
Yes.
By the blind support being given to Mujahideen groups.
Yes.
So they think that a more inclusive government in Kabul would be of more benefit to them. And also, there are other fears, unstated and stated, the growing Indian influence in Afghanistan. They think that there's this fight for influence, traditional rivalry between India and Pakistan in Afghanistan.
John, the term I used was it was diplomacy by default. I called it. I went and stayed at the Serena Hotel, and I found my Pakistani friends from there wanting to look like Indians in Kabul because the Indians were liked. I had no difficulty in Kabul. In Mazar-e-Sharif, of course not.
I think any government in Kabul will, by dispensation, will be more anti-Islamabad than anti-Delhi. That has been the history there. So I think there should be an effort to cooperate, in Afghanistan between India. Both sides have, I think, legitimate interest in
One final
Afghanistan.
observation, Vivek, for you and for you, John. I was talking to Mr. Zarif, the Iranian foreign minister, and he was very upbeat about the trade route at Chabahar, and that being India, Afghanistan and Iran working together. Very briefly, time has run out. What do you say?
One sentence first on what John is saying. Theoretically, of course, it's laudable to have a cooperative relationship. It is part of the SAARC framework between India and Pakistan in Afghanistan. But is that feasible? Is that possible? The Pakistanis don't even want to talk about Afghanistan officially with India as yet.
Chabahar.
No, I'm coming Chabahar. I think that was a great strategic move that India had made along with Iran when we built this road to connect to Chabahar. And as of now, it hasn't reached its potential, but certainly it will one day. And that will, once that begins, then I think our Pakistani friends will be a little anxious.
John, time has run out.
Yeah, I
Very
think if the Taliban is not brought on board, I think we will be reverting back to the old Northern Alliance scenario, and civil war will once again break out. It's only a matter of
John,
time.
we will meet once again, and I hope to prove you wrong, but that is a fear, and many people are expressing it. Vivek, John, both of you, thank you so much. That was Wide Angle on the Afghan elections. Next week, we come again with another theme. Good night and goodbye.